So hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, what is up? It's your girl Nicole, aka Lil NCK, and I'm back with another video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about 5 things that I learned from being in uni and 5 things that I've learned since I've come back from uni. I will split this up into 2 videos because this video is already very long. But yeah, I really wanted to cover this video for you guys because I know that a lot of you guys will be starting university soon. I don't know what university is going to be like now because of like COVID and everything, but I do know that for those of you who are going to go to uni very soon, this could be something that helps you, and it could be something that could make your experience a little bit better going into knowing a little bit of insight on what it's like and how things are. So if you want to know 5 things that I learned about going to university, then continue to watch. But before we do that, make sure you guys like, comment, share and subscribe, okay? And make sure you click the bell next to the subscribe button so every time I upload a video you guys will be notified. And make sure you're following me on Instagram, okay? Because if you're following me on here, you might as well follow me on there as well, okay? So I'm gonna leave my Instagram name right here, okay? NICS_M. So you better be following me on Instagram, okay? And yeah, now we can get into the video. Okay, so let's begin. The first thing that I'm going to tell you about uni is that uni is not what it seems. It is not how you think it is going to be. It's going to be very different to how you envision it to be. And I'm telling you this from personal experience. When I first went to uni, well before I even went to uni, I had this whole perception on what I thought my journey was going to be like. I had a perception on what I thought my dorm room was going to be like, dorm in terms of accommodation. I had an idea of what I thought that was going to be like. I had an idea of the type of friends that I wanted to have. I had an idea of the type of job that I wanted to have. You know, I had an idea that I was going to be driving while I'm in uni. All these things, you know. It's only when I got there I had the biggest reality check of my life, okay? I thought that I wouldn't need my parents' help in terms of finance. I thought that I could just meet new friends and everything would be good and everything would be cushy and these friends would be the best friends of my life and my uni experience is going to be easy. I thought that my work was going to be really easy, you know, it's just like college. I'm going to get a lot of help. I thought that getting a job in uni was going to be very easy. Let me tell you now, I had the biggest reality check in my life, okay? Before I went to uni, I watched a lot of videos on other people's experiences. I watched a lot of story times. I watched a lot of vlogs. I watched everything. I even watched the university page. If you didn't know, I went to the University of Portsmouth and I've graduated now with a bachelor's and an honours degree. Oh, I'm so happy to say that. And I studied television and broadcasting. But before I went to uni, I watched a lot of vlogs, a lot of interviews, a lot of videos, a lot of experiences, a lot of story times on other people's experiences when they went to uni. And yeah, I mean, you know, fair enough, they did tell me about some of the shenanigans that you could go through. You just have to go to experience it to know what it's like really for yourself. No matter how much I tell you or what somebody else is going to tell you, everyone's experience is going to be different. But it wasn't enough because there was a lot of things that I wasn't prepared for, a lot of things that I didn't think would happen, and you know, like there was just a lot of, it was a lot that I just didn't think that it was going to be how I thought it was going to be, you know. And I'll give an example. So I thought that by going to uni I was going to live in student accommodation, which I didn't. I'll link my first year university experience up here, so if you haven't watched it you can, and I'll link my second university experience up here, so if you haven't watched that you can. But yeah, like I thought I was going to be living in student accommodation and I thought everything was going to be good. I was going to meet friends really easily, really quickly. I was going to meet people that were just like me, people that got me, and everything was going to be good. But that wasn't the case for me. Oh no, it wasn't. It was not. I ended up living in housing with people I didn't know. It was a very, very, very last and final decision because I applied for the university late. Well, I got into university but I didn't accept it until really late because I was supposed to go to another university, but I ended up going to Portsmouth instead. Anyway, so because of the delays, it meant that I missed out on student accommodation, which is something that I was really wishing that I had. So I didn't get that experience, but I got housing experience instead, which I think is more of a life lesson than accommodation. That might be controversial to some people, but living in a house versus living in accommodation is very different. But it's taught me to be who I am today, and it's made me prepared to live in a house one day because I've done it already, you know. The tutors weren't as helpful as the college people are, because they don't just help you when you need help, you know. Like, a lot of the work is down to you, and if you don't do it, that's your own. And a lot of the time they tell you to go to them if you need any support, but then when you do, you don't really get support, you know. It's just uni, I just wasn't prepared. I was not prepared. Even getting a job I thought was going to be really easy, but it wasn't as easy as I thought it was going to be, because there's thousands of people applying for the same job that you are. So it's literally by luck that you get the job, it's by chance that you get the job, but you just have to keep applying for the same job over and over and over and hope that your CV is always at the top, okay? Uni is not as it seems. Like, I remember I had a schedule, right? I had a schedule where I thought to myself, okay, if I plan out everything, so if I plan out when I'm gonna work, if I plan my finances, if I plan my coursework, so I had a diary, guys. I had a diary. And in this diary I wrote down my deadline dates, I wrote down my financial dates, so like when direct debits were coming out of my account. So it was almost like my personal journal, so I was able to keep track of everything. So when I flipped it to next month, I know this bill is coming out on this day this month, and I've got work due on this day this month, and I've got this meeting on this day this month. So I kept a journal and I kept a diary, and I thought to myself that, you know, if I plan my life, if I plan my days, I'll be more productive, I'll be way better planned for whatever life throws at me, and I'll be able to take control or more control over my situation. However, that wasn't the case, because yes, the diary did help me in terms of keeping on top of my finances and when I had meetings and when I had coursework, but in terms of like everything else, so like food, friends, going to motives, all these things, I wasn't prepared for it. And even though I had written down the date for my deadline, I still did my work the day before my deadline because I procrastinated. When you write, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like when you plan something or when you write something down and you see it and you see how long you've got until that deadline is due, it gives you more time to procrastinate, really, because you're seeing that you've got work due in a month. So in your mind, I've got a month to chill, I've got a month to relax, I've got a month to take my time. So you take the mick a little bit, you know, and you relax, you take it easy, or you focus on other work. However, really, by doing that, you're endangering yourself, because you've now psychologically believed in your head that you have more time than you actually do. The work that you produce isn't going to be as good as it should be because you haven't had time to plan for it or prepare for it properly. So I'm not saying you shouldn't write deadlines down. I still think that you should, so you have an idea of when those deadlines are due. But just set yourself like a weekly goal or a monthly goal. I'm telling you to do this so you could be a better student than I was, okay? Because I didn't do this, clearly. Set yourself some goals so that you actually achieve them and you do much better than I did, okay? People are a very, 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 very big part of your university experience. The friendships that you make, the friendships that you carry with you through first, second, third, maybe even fourth, maybe even your masters. Friends are a very, 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 very big part of your university experience, and with that there are good and there are bad. When you first go to uni, it's very easy to relate to a lot of people. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's quite easy to relate to people because you're all in the same boat, you know, you're all in this together, and you're all essentially dealing with the same things. You're all going through the same things, in the sense that you might be homesick and you might meet 4 people that are also homesick. So there's a shared feeling, and because there's a shared feeling, it's going to be very easy for you to connect with that person because you're going through it. Or you might be someone that loves partying or loves having a good time or loves going out on a night out, and so you meet people that are the same, who also like going out, wanting to go out on a night out. And so again, there's a shared feeling there, so it's very easy for you to become friends. Or like you might be doing the same course, and so, you know, you get to know each other there. Or maybe you obviously everyone's family is different, in the sense that your family might not come to visit you for like 4 months at a time, whereas Billy might have his family over every week. Everybody's different, but the point is that it's very easy for you to connect with people based off of that shared feeling, that shared experience, and those shared emotions. However, with that being said, it's very important that you be careful, because a lot of people, now this doesn't go for everybody, because there's 50% people that are really good, and there are 50% people that aren't necessarily for you in this life, and that is okay. That's actually okay, and I want you to know that that is okay. Just because you're going through something that is quite similar, or you're going through an experience that is the same as what they're going through and all these other types of things, doesn't necessarily mean that they have your best interest at heart, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they are there for you in the long run. You will find that when you go to uni, there will be a lot of people that are there for you at that particular point or at that particular time, but that doesn't mean that they're there for you as a whole. So I'll give you an example. Cool. You might be someone who's really good at whatever trade it is that you do. So you could be good at doing hair, you could be good at I don't know, fixing PlayStation controllers, you might be good at whatever trade it is that you're good at. And you might have this friend that you've met in uni that is really close to you. He's your boy, or that's your girl, or that's your sister, or that's your brother, or whatever, like not biologically, but you really care about each other and you really have that established relationship with each other. That person, that friend of yours, is really encouraging you to do this trade. Like, they're really telling you that, you know, sis, you're really good at doing hair, I think you can make a business and profit off of this. Or bro, you're really good at what you do, I feel like you should do this, I feel you should do more of this, you should do more of that. You start to believe this person, you think to yourself, yeah, you know what, I've got the support that I need from you and other people, and I do believe in my trade, and I do feel like doing hair could be really good for me, I can make money off of it and all these things. So, you know, you do their hair for free, you practice on your friend's hair so you can build up the skills, perfect your craft before you start charging people. Now that you've practiced over a period of time, you know, your business is booming and you're starting to charge people, and your clientele is slowly growing because of word of mouth and they like the work that you do. You might turn around and say to your friend, you know, sis, I know before I was doing your hair for free because I was practicing, and I'm really thankful for the fact that you allowed me to do that. However, because this is my trade now, I can't do your hair for free anymore, because I do have to be able, like, I have to be able to pay for the creams, the gels, the combs, like, I have to be able to pay for my equipment, and I can't do that if I'm not getting paid. I can't do your hair for free anymore. However, because you're my sister, I will give you that discount. Like, I won't charge you the full price that I would charge everybody else, because I consider the fact that I wouldn't be here if you didn't give me the confidence to do what it is that I'm doing. All I'm saying is I can't do it for free because I have to charge you now. Are you able to understand that? Because it's a business now, and I'm still going to take care of you, and I'll still prioritize you and your hair and all these things. It's just that I can't do it for free, but I will definitely give you a good percentage off, so you're not paying full price. That's when certain people will either say to you, right, with that scenario now, and I've seen this happen so many times, people end up losing friendships over it, because they feel like, I don't care if it's your business, I don't care if it's your trade, why am I giving you money? Why am I doing that? You know, like you said, I gave you the confidence, I helped you, I've supported you, and you're telling me I have to pay, but then you're supposed to be a good friend of mine? What kind of friend charges their friend? But then on the other hand, you have people that will say to you, you know what, sis, I completely understand, I do. And I appreciate you coming to me, I appreciate you telling me. What percentage exactly are we talking about in terms of getting my hair discounted? Because obviously I am also in uni, I'm also struggling, and I need to look good for my confidence or whatever. So how can I help you help me? You know, there are two types of people, but unfortunately it's very easy for people to take the first option, where they turn around and make out that you're a bad friend because you want to charge them, when really you're just trying to survive. With friends, you just have to be careful, because a lot of people are for you in that particular moment. They're for you in the sense that they'll big you up, they'll promote you, they'll encourage you and all these things, until it's time for them to really show you the effort and to really show you the support, and all of a sudden they can't do that anymore because you're asking too much of them. So you just have to be careful. Now, like I said, there are friends that are amazing. You'll probably end up meeting people that are literally godsends to you, like they're the best people you've ever met in the world, and they end up becoming your lifelong friends, and that is a beautiful thing, that really is. But you just have to be careful and watch out for those people that might be for you in the beginning, but they're not for you as a whole. Don't allow your emotions to dictate your moves in terms of what you say, what you do, how you respond and how you react. especially as females. Like, it's very easy for us to attach our emotions to a situation, which end up making the situation a lot more worse than it intended to be. But just knowing how to take your emotions out of it and dealing with it logically, because some things aren't in your control and it's just not worth stressing yourself about it, you'll find yourself in a much better position. So yeah. The next one, university is so expensive. Oh my god, this is something that I was not prepared for, and no one told me about this. And it doesn't matter how many videos I watched before, I was not prepared for this. Listen, people think that by getting the government grant, whether you get the maximum or the minimum, whatever, you are set. You're not, okay? I'm here to tell you now, you're not. Yeah? People think that because they worked prior to being in uni, all the money in their savings is good, you know what I'm saying? They don't have to worry about it, they got money. That's not the case. That's not the case. Your savings are going to disappear within 6 months. Maybe even longer, maybe even less, I don't know, depends on the person. But your savings are not going to last you for a long time. I'm telling you this for free. When you get government loans, yeah, that has to go towards your rent. Now, a lot of people like to go uni and do up lifestyle, you know what I'm saying? They like to live in the nicest houses, the nicest apartments, they like to live in studios. I'm gonna make a whole video about studios, so don't worry about that. People like to Dietz things, you know, Louis Vuitton and Giuseppe and Gucci and all these designer brands and all these things, and they'll be using their loan to do that. But then when it comes down to paying their rent, they can't afford it. Why? Because they've wasted their money, or they didn't plan ahead, they didn't budget. But people think that, you know, I've got 1.7k in my account thanks to the government, I've got this, I've got money in my account, I'm set good. You're not, because your rent is going to eat all of that. And if it's not your rent, it's food. It is food. It is food. I'm going to insert some clips right now of the struggles I went through, and this was literally my life every week. Watch this. I spent £200 on shopping last week, Monday. Someone tell me where all the food has disappeared to. This fridge was full. I'm talking about the door couldn't close. And this is what we're left with. Flipping tomatoes and milk. I just hate. Like, can we deep? This is what is left. Oh my god. Guys, believe me when I tell you, yeah, this gym bag is bashing the hell out of my thigh. And I've got this bag that's creating lines in my hands. I'm telling you, within like, by the end of this week, it will all be finished. This is what I went through every single week when I was in uni. Granted, I lived with my boyfriend in my final year. Like, we lived together for almost 2 years. So obviously, it's going to be a bit more expensive. But you'll be spending like £80 on food shopping, but there's no food in the trolley. You'll be spending like £100 on food shopping, but it's mostly drinks that you're buying. Water. It's just sad. And for those of you who are thinking about getting on this gym life, being a bit more healthy, you got to be prepared to eat more food. And with that, you have to be prepared to spend more money. Before you even see the money in your account, it's gone. Why? Because it's going on food. And you'll cook the food, you'll eat the food, you look at your fridge is empty again. And you'll be thinking to yourself, why is it empty when I did food shopping yesterday? But that's because you didn't plan your meals. But then even when you do plan your meals, you will still find that your food is gone. When you go to uni, don't open up direct debits. And what I mean by that is all these little subscriptions that you're going to do on your phone. I don't know, iTunes, Spotify, whatever it is that you use. Maybe you're playing games and you're spending your coins on games. I have no idea. But just be careful, because listen, the life that you lived before you went to uni is going to change when you go to uni. Before, where you was able to afford these little monthly subscriptions and the money would come out of the account and everything would be good and you'd be alright, you're going to find that you're going to have to be a bit more stingy with your money once you go to uni. And this is why. I can't even tell you how many times, yeah, I would get paid from work. Which is another thing. I recommend getting a job when you're in uni, because you need to. And I'll be so excited because I got my paycheck the day before and I know how much I'm getting, you know, my hard work is paying off. And then, you know, you go to sleep, you wake up, you look at your account because you're excited to see the money in there, but then you see £20 is gone, £7.99 is gone, £16 is gone. I don't know, maybe that H&M thing that you bought, or that thing from Primark you bought, you know, it took a while for the bank to clear the check, but now the check is cleared and you're seeing the deduction come out of your account, and you're looking at your balance now. Say you got paid like £200, and with all these direct debits you're seeing minus. And you're thinking, okay. You're now looking at your balance and you see you've got £50 left. You're thinking, what? £150? Where the hell did that go? Or £80? Where the hell did that go? And it's all gone on your direct debits. Listen, I'm not the only person who has dealt with this struggle, and I'll tell you this for free. The amount of times I've had to not anymore, but the amount of times I've had to do a 30-day trial, and just before that trial ends I'm cancelling that subscription, because I know when that money leaves my account it's going to hurt. Listen, don't be like me, yeah? Just micromanage your money. I used to be really good when I was in first year. Like, I made a whole video on how to be financially stable, and I'll link it up here. I was doing really good financially, but then when it got to like final year and the year just before, I fell off. You know, I went from having, I don't know, £60 in my account, now all of a sudden I have £15, and I have to be so careful with that 15, because if I even spend £8 of the 15 I'm going to be down, or like I have to transfer that 15 to my other account, because if I don't, the direct debit is going to take it, somehow the bank is going to take it. Listen, it's very important that you get a job, okay, because uni is expensive. It's so expensive. Even if you want to go out and have fun with your friends, you'll find that there might be times where you have to tell them you're sick. You're gonna have to tell them, guys, I'm ill, I'm not well today, I'm sick, because I don't have money to go out and enjoy with you, so I'm very ill, I cannot go. There'll be times when, you know, there's no food in your fridge, so you just have to go to sleep. You just have to go to sleep because you can't afford to buy food. Guys, what I did was, yeah, sometimes, not all the time, sometimes, yeah, because it got better when I had a job, whatever, there'll be times when I'd make 4 cups of tea before I go to bed. You know, English tea, I'd make 4 cups of tea just before bed, because the warmth in the tea would make my stomach feel like I'm eating. Listen, certain parts of my experience were quite tragic. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, they were quite tragic, but it had to be done. Like, where you just drink tea before you go to bed because you can't afford to eat, you know, or you're having to tell your friend, listen, this is an emergency, yeah, I don't want to hear about it, I don't want to talk about it, you just have to send me the money, I'll pay you back when I have it, but I need to eat. Listen, don't be finessing anyone, don't be finessing, please don't be finessing, but just micromanage your money, because it is serious. Is that it takes time to adjust. It really does take time to adjust when you go to uni, because listen, before I went to uni, like I said, I had this perception of what I thought uni was going to be like, but it's only when I got there that I realised it was a shambolic perception that I had, because half of the things that I had envisioned wasn't the case for me. It wasn't my reality. I didn't think that I was going to be living in a house of 2 people that I didn't know, and I didn't think that that experience of mine was going to be as difficult as it was. If I'm honest, that whole house experience was very difficult, and I'll include that video up here, so if you want to watch that you can. But that house experience of mine was mad, okay? We had rats in the house, people didn't know how to share the stove, the fridge was always leaking. Listen, I didn't think that was going to be my life, but it was. I thought that when I was doing my coursework, you know, I was going to have a schedule, which I made, because I love schedules, I like stationery, I like planning, I'm very organised. Like, I'm a very organised person, especially the older I've gotten, the more organised I've become. I thought that, you know, I'd make a schedule of when I'm going to do my work, when I'm going to have time to rest, when I'm going to have time to see my friends, blah blah blah, because I used to book, it sounds really bad, but I used to book people in to see me. Like, I would look at my diary, which is actually here somewhere, I don't know, but I would look at my diary and I would literally book people in to see me, because I had to do my work, I had to go to ACS because I was secretary in ACS. Like, there were so many things that I was doing that I literally couldn't just see you as and when, because I had to work within a time. And, you know, I really thought that that was going to be how it was going to be, that I had everything jam-packed, everything was going to be perfect and according to how I've written it down. But guys, that's not the case. It really took time for me to adjust, because even though I had a schedule, I didn't exactly follow that schedule. No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't follow it down to a T. Don't get me wrong, the schedule did help. I wasn't able to follow it because life does get in the way, and you obviously want to be there for your friends as well, because your friends, like I said, are a big part of your experience. And just as important as it is for them to be there for you, you also have to be there for them as well, otherwise it's not going to work out. It was really difficult, like it was actually really difficult, I'm not going to lie to you, but it definitely takes time to adjust. Even if you're someone who doesn't know how to cook, it's going to take time for you to adjust and how to learn how to cook. First of all, I don't know why anyone is 18 and doesn't know how to cook. That's a disgrace. If you are 16 and you don't know how to cook, you don't know how to boil an egg, you don't know how to boil potato, you don't know how to make rice, you don't know how to make basic spaghetti or whatever it is you cook, that's a disgrace. I'm letting you know, you are being judged, okay? That is a disgrace. How can you come to uni and not know how to cook? Not even just uni. How can you be 16 and above and just not know how to cook anything? You're being judged. That is a disgrace. You need to learn how to cook. Things aren't always going to be as they seem, and it definitely takes time to adjust. It might even take time for you to adjust to the friendship group that you're in, because listen, the amount of times I have seen people, not myself, but I know people that are chilling with people that they wouldn't really chill with on the outside, but in uni they're chilling with you just to get by. Listen, you might make them feel good in a moment, they might make you feel good in a moment, but they're not your ideal type of people, and it's going to take time for you to adjust to those types of people if that is your situation, or even if they are your type of people, but you're just figuring things out in terms of how you are as a person, how I am as a person, what I like, what you like. It's definitely going to take time to adjust. So if you don't settle down within 3 months, that is okay, because it took me half the year to settle down, especially in my first year. It might take time for you to adjust to your course, because you might research about it, get really excited, and you know, be optimistic that yes, this is what you want to do. But then when you actually start it, that's when you start to realize that, oh shit, this is really not what I want to do. Like, I don't know if I want to do this course anymore. I don't know if this is what I really want. I don't know if this is too intense. Like, is it too late to change? It's okay to have second thoughts and to have doubt, as long as you remember why you're there and you just remember who you are as a person. You will definitely overcome those things. It just takes time. Now, this is the last point I'm gonna make in this video. If you want a part 2, make sure you guys let me know, because this video is already very long and I'm really not trying to talk your ear off. Life after uni, when you go home, is not going to be the same. I can't say this for everybody, because there are 3 different types of situations, 3 different types of people, right? Parents. So let's begin. You have the parent where they're quite lenient anyway. So before you went to uni, you was used to going and coming whenever you want, in terms of whatever time you want. You can go out when you want, come back when you want. You don't have to answer to them, because they don't really, like, they trust you, they don't really question you, blah 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 blah. And like, you know, friends can come over whenever they want, you don't really have to tell them. And so now that you're back from uni, because that's the life that you were used to, it hasn't really changed. They're still going to be lenient on you to an extent, so things are very much normal for you. You're then going to have this type of parent where, you know, before you went to uni, you were young. Obviously, I think you start uni when you're like 17. I think I started uni when I was 17. Or 17 going on 18. Because you go to uni when you're like fairly young, they now understand that, you know, you've had to live life by yourself for a long time, and you've had to essentially develop into your own woman or into your own young man by yourself. Now that you're back home, they appreciate that and they understand that. So there are a little bit of boundaries, not a lot, but there are boundaries. However, it's with the exception that they understand, and if anything, they are definitely going to compromise with you a lot more, because they understand you're an adult. But then you also have those other types of parents, the third parent, where you know, I don't care if you went to uni, I don't care if you're your own person, I don't care if you're grown. This is my house, my rules. If you don't like it, you can go. You're not coming home at this time of the night, you're not coming home at this time in the morning. You have to tell me when you're going out, you have to tell me when you're coming back. If you do stay outside, you have to tell me what day you're coming back. And if you don't, there's a problem. You're going to get in a lot of trouble verbally, because you didn't come back when you said you was going to come back. And that might be difficult for a lot of people to adapt to, a lot of people to adjust to. Obviously, like, I have graduated now with a bachelor's degree. I can't believe I have a bachelor's degree. I have graduated now with a bachelor's degree. Obviously now I'm back home, I'm back in London, I'm back in my family's house, and I can't lie to you, it's been quite difficult for me to settle down. It's been difficult for me to settle in the house. It's been difficult for me to get used to the way things have been running in terms of my household. Obviously my mum's been locked down, so that's been really difficult as it is, but I know when she comes back, there's going to be having to adjust to her again, she's going to have to adjust to me again, because I'm not the same type of person that I was before I went. I've obviously changed, developed and grown into my own person, my own independence, my own freedom. And I feel like a lot of parents don't understand that when you go to uni and you come back, you are going to be different. You're still the same person, you're still you, but a lot about you has changed depending on the situations you've been in, depending on the people you've encountered or the things you've encountered. Like, if you're used to living by yourself and you're able to go and come whenever you want, you're able to eat whatever you want because you're the one cooking, you're the one buying the food, you're able to make your own decisions because you don't answer to anybody. When you go to uni, you don't answer to anyone. The only person that you seek approval from is yourself, because you're looking after yourself. Nobody else is looking after you because your parents are not there. But it's like when you live a life for 3-4 years and you're used to doing these things, parents don't seem to understand that. Not all, but some parents don't seem to understand that, and they don't want to understand that either, because they have their own pride, their own ego, and you might find it difficult when you come back home, myself included. And like a lot of other people that I know who graduated a year before me, they've all said the same thing, that coming home is not easy because you want your freedom, you want to be able to do what you want when you want, and obviously you can't do that when you go home because it's not your house. Like, you live in a house, but it's your parents' home, you just live there kind of thing, you know. And so that might cause some conflicts. It might do, like, you might get into a lot of arguments, you might get into like heated discussions, and it's all part of the process. It's definitely going to take time for you to adjust to being back at home, and it's going to take time for you to adjust being around your family and adjust being in the situation that you're in. But it takes time, like, it does take time. I've been back since May, and only now am I slowly adjusting, and by that, out of 100%, I'm talking about 5%, I've only adjusted about 5%, because to them and my sibling, my older brother, I'm the baby in the house, so it's my rules, my way or the highway, and I'm not used to that now because for 4 years I've had to do things myself. So yeah, it definitely takes time, and it's not easy. And if this does happen to you, you're definitely not alone, because people have been there before you, people have gone through it before you. But all I can say to you is you just have to try your best to be open to compromising with your parents, because obviously you want things to go your way, but they want things to go their way. So you just have to try and find a middle ground in a way that's respectful, because they are still your parents or your sibling if that's who you live with. Okay, so those are 5 things that I'm going to cover in this video. If you want me to do a part 2, make sure you let me know down below, and I will definitely do that. I have to split this video up because this video is already very long, so yeah, thumbs up the video if you want a part 2. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely wanted to cover things that people don't talk about, because people talk about like the good things about going to uni, because there are a lot of good things. Like, there really are a lot of good things, the opportunities that come from it, the people you meet, the experiences, how you develop as a person. There are so many good things about uni, but there are also bad things that happen, and there are also things that people don't prepare you for. And then you start to think, like, am I the only person going through this? Like, has somebody else gone through this? Because nobody's spoken about it, you feel like you can't relate. And so I'm here to flip the coin and give you that other perspective as well, because I've been there and I've done that, and you know, I'm still going through it myself, and if I can go through it, you can go through it. So yeah, I really hope this video helps. If you have any questions, make sure you leave it down below. Once again, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you want to see a part 2, and I'll happily do that for you guys. But yeah, I love you all so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Mwah!